students find a surprise waiting for them at school. It was a replacement instructor for the sick Mr. Lesnar. She has long black hair with natural highlights of gray lining her hair. Her skin is as white as the falling snow beyond the windows. As her bony fingers tapped on the desk, she said,
"Hello, class. My name is Miss James. Mr. Lesnar has fallen ill. Today, we will be taking pictures. We will all be going in alphabetical order of your last name.
Mrs. James continued.
We will start with Annabeth Black, and we will end with Jason Sandusky. Are we clear?"
Yes, Mrs. James.
The class replied in monotone. Miss James stepped forward and turned into a room. She waited a few moments, then poked her head out, saying,
"Annabeth, please come here so we can capture this moment."
Jason walked home with Annabeth, his best friend. Annabeth stands short and sweet with a loving heart. She acts nice to everyone, even people who aren't nice to her.
"Hi, Jason."
She said in her usually peppy voice.
"That teacher was kind of weird, huh?"
Yeah, what was with her? She kind of scares me. She scare you?
Meh, sorta, but she is a teacher, so she can't be that bad.
I guess so. Well, bye, Annabeth. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye, Jason.
Annabeth turned towards her house and started walking down the sidewalk. That night, Jason was lying in bed. He thought to himself,
What was with that stupid teacher? I don't like her. She kind of scares me. I hope Mr. Lesnar comes back soon.
He closed his eyes and fell back into the world of sleep.
Jason sits in a chair in the middle of an infinite black void. He sees something, a speck that grows to a figure that grows to a person. Hey, Jason, can you help me with something? It was Annabeth, calling for his help. Sure, Annabeth, Jason replied. What's wrong? It's Miss James, she yelled. She couldn't get it out. What? Jason begged. A dark cloud evaporated up out of the black void and engulfed Annabeth. It swirled around her, dragging her down into the void. Jason!
From where Annabeth once was, a blinding light exploded. Jason bolted straight upright in his bed and let out a blood-curdling scream. He did not know what just happened, but a second later, he was asleep again. The next day, Jason arrived in class and noticed something different about the classroom. A lonely photograph lay nailed into the opposite wall. Something else caught his eye. A desk with no one in it. It was Annabeth's.
Miss James,
What?
where is Annabeth?
Jason asked.
Oh, I don't know, Jason.
Miss James replied.
A shame. She didn't get to see her beautiful photograph be put up on the wall.
There was a long, silent pause, and then Jason's voice broke out in the silence,
Okay.
and turned and walked to his seat. He ran through the hallways. He ran past all the kids. He ran home and jumped on his bed. He did not know what was happening. It was something with Mrs. James.
What is going on? What does my dream mean?
Jason was nearly losing his mind. He did not know what to do. Instinctively, he ran to his dad's room. His dad realized how sad his son looked and asked,
What's the matter?
Jason slammed his face into his dad's bed and sobbed into the sheets. He did not want to tell him because he thought his dad would think he was crazy.
Tell me, please. Tell me what's wrong.
Jason raised his head and wiped the dripping tears from his cheeks.
It's our new teacher.
He stuttered.
She's evil. She did something to Annabeth. You need to do something.
He burst into a fit of sobbing as he confessed what he believed.
Oh, Jason, come on. You have to grow up, Jason. You're in the 4th grade. I thought you moved past this whole evil teacher thing. I've said enough.
But Dad!
Jason screamed and stared in amusement at his dad not believing him.
You think I'm crazy?
Jason, you're not crazy. You're just acting childish. Now get to bed. It's late.
Jason turned around and stomped out of his room. He stopped at the doorway and turned to his dad.
I hate you!
He turned and stammered into his room. He jumped onto the bed and let his hopeless sobbing put him to sleep. The night is the same as before. The same dream, the same black void, the same Annabeth, the same awakening, and the same morning. School again was different. Another picture was added and another student missing. It was Christopher Dorn, missing and on the wall. The next day, Billy Fredrickson. The next day, Freddie Hamilton. The days went on until it was just Jason and Eleanor Reed. The next day, as predicted, Jason was in class, alone. He sat in his desk, surrounded by many empty ones, and stared at Mrs. James. There was a long pause, then finally she turned and stepped towards her desk and picked up something. She held it up, and Jason saw it was a picture of him. She made her way towards the wall. Jason's face turned white in fear. She lifted the frame and set it on the last nail on the wall.